Hi guys, Adrian here, and I'm pleased to present to you today a journal that you can use. I've called it the Tradeology Trading Journal, and I just want to give you a quick summary on how to use this. It's a very generic journal, so you can use it for any type of trading. I've set it, of course, for Forex trading, but you could have any system that you're trading with used to enter the details here on the trading journal. So I just want to give you a run through on this. So for example, at the top left-hand side of the charts here, once you've opened the Excel sheet rather, you're going to get a balance. Now, if it's a live or a demo account, doesn't matter which, you can simply insert the amount that you're starting with there. So it could be $1,000, for example, and that's what I've got in there at the moment. Could be $500, could be $100, could be $10,000, right? Now, the rest of it here, you don't really need to touch. The sheet will do this for you, and I'll show you how in just a moment. So, for example, you want to start off with a trade. You're going to, once you've made the trade, you can fill in whether you've won, you've lost, or you've broken even on the trade. And type of trade, I've included this because, for example, you might have a very particular method that you're trading with, or multiple methods. So you might use, for example, a MACD and an RSI, for example, on one of your methods. Or you might have a system that you're trading and you're using that, and you can use the name of the system as the type of trade here. And you could simply fill that in, right? So the entry date is quite easy. You could just put in whatever the date is. Let's just say it's 1st September 2019, right? And the entry time, whatever the time is in your current time zone, enter whether it was a buy trade or a sell trade. You could enter the pair, Euro USD, for example, and you could even put the time frame of the chart there. You can enter the level that you entered the trade on. You can set where you've set your stop loss, and what level that's been on. I'm just putting in random numbers here as an example. You could set your target, and again, just some random numbers that I'm putting in here. Obviously, you get this off your platform and where exactly you exited. So your exit might be the same as the target, or it could have been another level. You might have exited early for whatever reason. The conditions changed. There was a news event. Something happened. And you could just simply put that in. And at the end of it all, you could record the actual amount of profit you made. So let's just say we made a trade and we made $57 on that trade. You'll notice on the top here, you will have your gain registered here, the withdrawal amount I'll cover just now, current balance, and you grew the account by 5% in that particular instance, right? Of course, we're looking at 1 or 2% risk per trade, but this is just an example. Now, you have the option then to put in here whether you won or lost. So, on the drop-down menu, you could say that was a win trade, right? And it'll cover it green here. Now, as you go along, you might then not win the next trade. So you've lost $40. Simply put a minus in front of that. And again, you could say, I've lost that trade, right? So this is just an example of a win and a losing trade, just so that you can see. Now, over time, of course, you can put in comments here. I exited early. It was weekend. I decided to close the account, something along those lines. Or news event was coming up. Or I got in late on the trade. Etc., etc. So you could comment on what it is that you found about that trade that was possibly different to or unique in that particular instance, or you might not have any comment. Perfect trade, whatever the case. But the idea is, you'll see there's 1,000 of these lines here. You might only trade a few times a week, of course, but it gives you the option for many types of trades here, and you could be using different systems with different trades. So after a while, you'll notice, though, that there's a pattern. Once you get to a few trades, you'll be able to review your comments, see how many wins and losses you've made, You might even be trading off different platforms, one broker for a particular type of trade, another broker for something else, so if you recorded them all on here, eventually you get the history of what exactly was going on. And you could have a look at, for example, the losing trades and say, well, there was a particular reason I have here, and it seems to be coming up over and over and over again. So it helps you to analyze your trading, and it also gives you the discipline. The thing about this is, if you do this with every single trade you make and review every single trade you make, you're building up a certain psychology, you're working out, strategizing, focusing on what it is you need to do to improve as a trader, getting your mind right, etc. And you have a record that is your own, that you can reflect on and look to improve with, right? Just like any athlete or any business person would look at the metrics, what's been happening. This is a good way of doing that and keeping you focused and disciplined also on your trading. Now, there's a few other things here. On the right-hand side, you'll see there's an option to withdraw. So if it was a live account, for example, and you decided to withdraw $100 at some point, you'll see that this will include that in there as well. You also have the option to create a new sheet. You see at the bottom here, you've got different tabs, and you might decide that you can do this on a monthly basis even, or create a few of these sheets and do them on different basis. But let's just say we decided to create a sheet for October. You'd obviously see that you'd have an October tab here. So one way of doing this might be that you have all your trades for a particular month here. Just simply right-click, rename the tab. So in this particular instance, I've set it up as being for a month. So all the trades you did for that month, all the trades you did for the following month are all in here. It needn't be that way. It could be also that you want to do it by pairs. So you could open up a sheet and have Euro USD, for example, or whatever the pair is, has its own tab, and you could then go through that on that basis and see how you've been trading each particular pair. So that's another option. Or you could have it by system. So you might have 2 or 3 or 4 different systems over time that you've been trading. You might want to have a look at the cash explosion system, whatever it might be named, and have all the trades for that particular system recorded under one tab and so on. So this is a very useful tool. I think you'll find a lot of value in it. I encourage you to be very precise and to take every bit of detail that you get from a trade that you can input on the sheet every time you trade, and do that. Then on a regular basis, it could be daily or weekly or even monthly. Keep looking back at this and you'll start to see certain patterns. And obviously at that point, you want to think to yourself, how can I improve my trading? Is there some pattern that I recognize here about the way I'm trading that can be improved on? And it's a good way of disciplining yourself and building up your confidence as a trader. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope and I know that you're going to enjoy this. Goodbye.